Good morning. Welcome to chapter 11 of The World's Longest Suicide Note. My name's Roger, and while I am suicidal at times, I am not a medical or healthcare professional of any kind. So, just putting that out there. Anyway, so again, welcome. You probably are seeing, if you followed along, that the painting looks different. And that's because I did a dark wash because I wanted it to look darker on the outside, and then I'm going to hit highlights around this part of it, and we'll see what happens. I'm just going to kind of work on it while we chat. So, as promised, the topic for today's video is going to be addiction. And it's something that, addiction unfortunately kind of goes hand in hand with depression, anxiety, the whole lot. And I don't, like I say, I'm not a professional. I don't know the numbers. So I'm not sure in how many cases you have someone dealing with some kind of mental illness, and they're also concurrently dealing with an addiction problem. I'd say it's pretty high. And again, there's numbers, and then there's honest numbers. And I don't know if we really truly get the honest numbers too much, because again, these things they're not easily talked about. So, those numbers probably lie a little bit. But I'm going to talk to you about my struggles with addiction as in relation to my mental illness. All right. Well, I think the first addiction that I ever experienced was in regards to food. Early on, now to set the story a little bit. I come from a household where my mom was the traditional homemaker. She did not work outside of the home, and so she was, her job. And this is not me saying that this was her job. This is what she said that her job was. So do not get me wrong. I am not in any way saying that her place was in the kitchen, but that's where she wanted to be a lot. And she prided herself on caring for her family. And one of the ways that she did that is she made some amazing food. Food was a big part of the growing up process. And being at our house, that was something that, we always had a family dinner at night, and there was always, it wasn't just, there was multiple things to eat. And so it was something that you kind of get used to, but also there's some pressure there because she worked very hard on it and she took it personally. And so she wanted the food gone. She wanted to make sure that she was feeding her family. And so there was some pressure to eat, and to eat a lot. And nothing made her happier than going back for seconds. And if you didn't go back for seconds, it's like, oh, you didn't like the food? Was it not good for you? And so, there was a little bit of that. And so when I would traditionally go back for seconds, and not because I was forced to. I mean, it was really good. I mean, she was a very good cook, and the food was very good, and to this day I have there's some nostalgic things when I smell some types of food or whatnot. Um, but at the end of the day, um, there's some things that were ingrained from that time. So when the depression and anxiety really started kicking in, um, I found that food helped comfort me to a degree. And I don't, again, comfort could just mean that it made me feel good. I did, I wasn't, it wasn't so much taking away what was going on. It was kind of a safe harbor. So that became quite a thing, and I relied on that as time went on, uh, and I got older, and so that was just something that I was the older I got, the bigger I got, and so when it really started to hit me, I would kind of self-soothe, to so to speak, with food, and that became my go-to as far as a treatment option. Oh, I'll just get something, and it really had to do with too much, I mean, and because the depression was happening, and I was just feeling bad, so I'd eat, and then I'd eat a lot, and then I'd feel bad about it, and then I would eat more because of my fragile emotional state at that point. And it was, it's a horrible cycle. Being addicted to food, because you need that. It's not like, oh, I'm going cold turkey, I'm never going to eat again. That's not, and as far as a method of suicide, no. So hunger strikes and that kind of thing. Oh, no. You could. That is not a method that I had used, and we will be talking at some point about the different kind of methods. Again, this in no way do I recommend any of it. So, but if we're going to have an honest discussion, we need to talk honestly about everything that's related to this. So, anyway, where was I? As I was growing up, yeah, food played a major role in my soothing of my mental illness, and sweets especially. Little Debbie, she can go fuck herself. Um, yeah, Little Debbie was not my friend during this time, because Little Debbie was cheap. Well, I mean, I think they still are. I haven't had one in a long time. But Little Debbie, they're the peanut butter cream sandwiches. Legitimately, I would eat a whole box, and there's like six of those like little peanut butter cream cakes in there, and I'd eat them. I'd eat the box. I mean, and then I would feel horrible, both physically and emotionally, because I was weak, and it made me feel actually worse after that. And again, it's a cycle. It's like, oh, you feel worse. Well, you need to soothe that. So then I would eat something else. And so my max weight that I've ever been and it's not, so for years, I mean, people who are heavy get this. We try everything, we try every diet. We're always going to start on Monday. Oh, this Monday I'm gonna do it. I'm going cold turkey. I'm gonna not eat sweets. I'm gonna blah 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 blah. Whatever it was that I was demonizing at that moment. That's what we're gonna do. Come Monday morning, we're gonna go out and run, and we're gonna eat kale, like yogurt, wrapped in kale with rice cakes, and that's all we're eating for until we look good on the beach. That never worked. I mean, I tried it, 100 different times to stop doing that, and it didn't work. So anyway, and we're going to talk about exercise is going to be another topic that we're going to talk about, because that's a big part of my life now, and that helped me a lot with positive self worth and breaking the addiction that food had on me. And then after I kind of got a handle on the food situation, then I became a functional alcoholic, and alcohol has really been my chief challenge. I've learned that given my personality, I should probably stay away from anything that would tend to get me thrown in jail. Not like you can't get thrown in jail with alcohol, but I was always very afraid, and I continue to be, about the other drugs that are out there that people talk about, and like, ooh, it makes you feel a certain way, because the problem is, just like with alcohol, when you say you go hiking and you're rucking a heavy pack, and you're doing it for hours, you're just so much so that you almost forget that you're carrying that weight, but then you stop and you take that pack off, and the feeling of relief, like you just don't even, it's surprising how much that, like, whoa, I like this is nice, that kind of easing of the burden. That's what it does to me. It feels like that. I get a drink in me or two, and it feels like I just took a backpack off, and it feels like I don't have to fight my thoughts as much. And that's, that's a welcome relief, but it's also a real challenge, because I know that there's things out there that will do that for me, that will take that burden off of me. And so, which, that's kind of like, oh, that's nice, but it's also like, ooh, that's dangerous, because I know, and while I've never officially been, considered by myself or anyone else an alcoholic, I've been on that path a few times, to where a little more time may have proven to be what it took to actually get there. So I've been able to be aware and pull myself back from too much of the overindulging, too much of the that kind of behavior, because it starts to, you start thinking, ooh, this feels pretty good, and that's scary. That's scary to me, and so I just have to be very, very cognizant of that. But because this is part of it, and a lot of people self-medicate with different things that make them feel like, okay, that burden has been lifted just a little bit, just enough, and to where I could kind of catch a breath here and there, and feel like, okay, I'm going to move forward now. We always, it's what we tell ourselves in those moments. Sometimes we're honest, and sometimes we're You know, we think we're fooling ourselves and other people, and we're not. We're not. We're just, and in no way am I trying to justify it. Bad behavior, being intoxicated, that kind of thing. I'm not selling any of that stuff. I just know, I know why it happens, and I'm trying to impart some perspective on that too. It's not that I want to party, you know. I'm not. It's not that I don't want to party. I mean, it's not about the party. You know, I used to make it about the party, but it was about numbing that feeling, numbing that down so I could just get some relief. So yes, and the same goes, you know, with a lot of things. Anything that provides, you know, there's people who can't sleep without taking sleeping pills, because sleep is so important, and you want it, and you need it, and so, you know, you feel like that's the only way, and so you become accustomed to that, and these things are pretty much the same way. So yeah, addictions. I don't want to have any more, because that's another thing, you know, it's another thing you have to deal with. And the whole idea is to, you know, get through life and feel like you've done something, and you're accomplishing something. But it's very hard, because it's like your mind is constantly against you. And so you get through a long day, and really all you want to do is take the backpack off and just sit for a little bit. So yeah, that is what it is, and it's not easy, and it's not my place. I don't condone it. I think everyone should be able to make the best decisions that are for them, but they also have to be aware of how those impact other people and how they impact themselves. You know, part of, you know, when I was drinking, I say that I subconsciously tried to kill myself many times, because I would drink till it was gone, till it was all gone. And then you do things, you know, I'm going to get drunk and ride my bike, or, you know, you put yourself in positions thinking that, well, nature will take its course, you know, and at the end of the day, it ended up hurting other people as well as me. You know, not physically, not. I've been very lucky in that sense that I've never had any lasting damage to myself or anyone in those situations. So I'm very lucky. So much so I understand my capacity, and so I need to step back from that and say I can't go down that road. So everything in moderation at this point, but understanding that addiction is a very big part, and managing that with is really a critical piece, and it's not easy. So anyway, that's that, and I probably left some stuff, but as we talk, this topic is kind of intertwined with a few different things. So we're going to be touching on addiction as we move through the rest of these chapters, the rest of these 1,000 or 2,000 chapters, whatever, until I get tired of doing this. But this has been very helpful for me. Making these videos has been it's been kind of a challenge, because I don't know how I'm going to feel when I talk about this. But I mean, no, I feel like all in all, this has been a very good thing for me, and I'm going to keep doing it, because this is it's a lot easier nowadays to give myself another day. So we'll see you in the next video. We're going to talk about something else. Have a great one.